and welcome back to the European Classic Powerlifting Championships 2021 from Västerås in Sweden. We have the final session of the day for you, starting in just over 1 minute's time. It will be the junior men 93 kilo class. If you've been watching it earlier, you would have seen the great 83 kilo class that had to be split into two groups because of the number of entries, and it is exactly the same in the 93 kilo junior men's class. We have two groups. The first group will be the lifters lower ranked in terms of their nominations when they entered the championship, and the second group will be the higher ranked lifters from where we can expect the medals to be won. But of course, that's not always the case. If you were watching the 83s earlier, you would have seen that the bench press medal was won from the first group. All lifters in both groups will be lifting for the same medals. You can see the platform crew ready to welcome the first lifter on stage. The clock ticks down to 30 seconds, and we are just about ready for the third and final session of the day. We've had two fantastic sessions today, one to go, and at the end of the session, it will mark the halfway stage of these championships. We will have done all the sub juniors, will have done most of the junior men, of the juniors. All the junior women are done. The junior men 93 tonight, 105 and under and over 120s tomorrow, and then the day after we are into open competition. It's been fantastic. It's flown by, and this is Jakob Lorelias from Norway, and he opens the evening session with a squat attempt at 215 kilos.
Scott!
And that looks good from the Norwegian lifter. 3 white lights get the session underway. John Bartel from the Netherlands will be up next, and he will be attempting 235 kilos. 21 years old, been competing for 3 years, PB of 245, on the bar 235.
Spanning! Scott!
Just gets ready. And that is a good lift. 3 white lights. Do excuse me. And next up we have from Spain David Ascencio Alhama. And he is opening on 240 kilos, which will equal his personal best. And he fist pumps all 5 members of the platform crew that he hopes won't have to jump in and save him at any point during his squats. So 240 kilos for a PB equaling opener. That looks good. And 3 white lines. Jakob Danek from Czechia. You may still refer to it as Czech Republic. Is out next. And his squat PB is also 240, and he is also opening on 240 kilos.
Scott! Right.
That looked very strong. That did not look like a PB equaling lift. Plenty more there. And Montenelli from Italy will be up next. Or Montenelli Edgar, to be more exact. Italian powerlifting is really strong right now, and lots of good juniors coming through as well. Really augurs well for the future, but you could say that of so many nations. Romania, Ireland, Spain, Slovenia.
Scott. Right.
Oh, that was very strong. It's a very unusual squatting technique, and he gets, I think the blue was for that little movement at the top. It was certainly very easy, but he gets no lifted for it. And Jonathan Celis from Belgium is up next, and he will be last out in the first round, taking 260 kilos.
Scott.
That looks strong. Gets the rack command and 3 white lines. And we move into the second round already. And Jakob Lorelias from Norway is up again. Actually, as we were saying earlier, if you weren't with us, it may seem longer splitting the group, but it's actually quicker because after all the squats, and there's no break between group 1 and group 2, there's a 10-minute break rather than a 20. So it's actually a faster way to present the sport. So this is the young Norwegian taking his second attempt.
Scott.
That looks good. He's still a little way below his personal best. So that's 3 white lights. Now we go to John Bartel from the Netherlands again. He's taking 245 kilos, which, as you can see from the profile, will equal his personal best.
Pasjes. Goed staan. Span aan.
Scott.
Up. Goed zo.
Right.
And that looks good. And 3 white lines. And next We have David Ascencio Alhama from España, 252.5 kilos on the bar, a 12 kilo jump. Remember, his opener equaled his PB, so this is for a 12.5 kilo personal best.
Cut.
Oh, that looks good. He had to battle it up. But why wouldn't you battle when it's 12.5 kilos more than you've ever squatted before? And next up is Jakob Danek from Czechia, and he is taking 255 kilos. He also equaled his personal best with a 240 opener, and he has taken a 15 kilo jump.
Počkej si na povely, jo? Tak, v klidu, stůj to. Počkej si.
Cut.
To je ono. Hezky.
Oh, that looks strong. And 3 quite light for Dannek. Ricardo Montenelli Edgar is up next. If you remember, he got red lighted. He got both a blue and a yellow. And we think perhaps it was because he dipped at the start and then stood up again and then started. So we will analyze the reasons for that. It was certainly very strong. He's taken a big jump. He's gone where he was planning to go to 265 kilos, still below his personal best, which is 288.
Cut.
That's strong. Well, he got called on depth by 2 of the 3 referees. Let's look at that again. I think the problem is he leans forward so much. His hips have nowhere. The leaning the upper body forward brings the hips up, and he has one more attempt. And it's Jonathan Celis from Belgium, last out in the second round, 270 kilos on the bar. And 270 compares very favourably with most of the openers in the second group. Oh, that's a good battle. Great lift from Celis. And it's 3 quite lights. And that equals his personal best. And we go into the third round with worries for the Italian. He must get deeper to continue in the competition. But before that, it's Lorelias from Norway, 235 kilos, still 7.5 kilos below his personal best.
Cut.
It's lovely and deep, but he can't bring it back up. And that is a no lift for the Norwegian. Bartel from the Netherlands is up next. 250 kilos on the bar. And that will be a 5 kilo personal best. He equaled his PB in the second round. And this is to take it up to the magic 250. 250 kilos, 551 pounds.
Voilà. Kleine pasjes. Spanna.
Scott!
And he fights it back up. And the referees say yes, that's a good 3 white lights. Fist pumps from the coach and horns honk in the audience. Now David Ascencio Alhama again. 255 kilos on the bar. His PB, remember, was 240. He obviously feels close to his maximum because he's only gone up 2.5 kilos from second to third.
Scott!
And he battles, no. And he knows failing 2.5 kilos above what he got, he's got the most he could get today. And now we have the Italian Ricardo Montenelli Edgar, and this is a must-make lift. 265. He is really strong. The weight is not a problem. But he did not make depth. And he just has to go deeper.
Scott!
Better to go deep and not come up than not go deep enough. Well, I'm going to wait for the referees because I thought the last one was good and it was. And neither is that. He's been given a blue and a red. Now the blue might be for not being erect enough, leaning over too much. It certainly wasn't for downward movement. And I think we'll expect a visit to the jury table from the Italian coach. But in the meantime, this is Jakob Danek from Czechia, and he is taking 265 kilos. Remember, he came in with a PB of 240. So this will be a huge improvement if he can make it. And a 10 kilo jump from the second round. Oh, great lift. And 3 white lights. And check celebrations. One more lifter in the first group, and then we will move straight on to the second group with no delay. And that is Jonathan Celis from Belgium. And I'm not sure that he's coming out. He only put another 2.5 kilos on the bar. I think he's decided that 270 was his absolute limit, and I can't blame him for making that decision. It did look right at his maximum, but he is giving the lifters that follow the requisite time for them to prepare. And what will happen is the clock will run down to 0. The speaker will ask the referees to show. They will press their buttons. A red light will be recorded against his name, and we will move on to the second group. I know many of you watching will know that, but we are attracting a bigger and bigger audience each time we broadcast, and many people are watching because of their interest in powerlifting rather than because they are participants. So excuse us if we ever seem to be stating the blatantly obvious, but the audience is growing all the time. Past two sessions of the recent World Championships were live on Eurosport 2. The sport is getting bigger and bigger as each year passes. And this is Chris Onua from Great Britain, and the bar is at 240 kilos.
Break.
And three white lights. Andrew Blackwood from Ireland is next up, and he's taking 245 kilos. As you can see, quite a conservative opener. You don't lose competitions by opening too conservatively, you lose them by opening too high.
Scott. Break.
And that looks good. And he gets a red for depth from the center referee, but it's good from the other two. And Nicolati from Finland will come out next. And on the bar will be 250 kilos.
Come on. Go.
Tiukkana nytten! Happeen!
Scott. Break.
Very wide stance, plenty space to sink into. And it is a good lift, 2-1 again. Center referee called it on depth. Both sides thought it was good. Paul Edgar from Austria, also 250 kilos on the bar.
Scott. Break.
And that looks good. And three white lights. Now, Matias Spence from Sweden will be next out. Two Swedes, two French lifters, and a Norwegian. And this is Svensson.
Scott.
Oh, that's a good squat. Three wide lights. And the next two lifters will both be on 260 kilos. The first out will be Guillen Pariso, and Raston from Norway will follow him. And here is Pariso. PB is 275. So another reasonably conservative and safe opener.
Squat.
And he fights it up. And that is a no lift, 2 blues. Now, I'm guessing that's because just watch how much he leans over. There was certainly no downward movement. And just watch if the knees lock out. That would be the other reason. Maybe the knees are slightly soft. Because he did return to the starting position. And the 2 referees were not happy with that. They should have kept their hands up. So this is Benjamin Raston from Norway, 260 kilos. Again, not trying to question the referees, just trying to explain the reasons for the decision. Oh wow, I think that's the deepest squat we've seen today. And 3 white lines. It's almost like the knees acted as brakes there. And he smiles. Now, Richmond Biden from France, 275 kilos on the bar, 12.5 kilos below his personal best. And he's going to be right there at the last deadlift when the championship is decided. And that looks good. And 3 white lights. And Biden's journey is underway. And we have one more lifter in the first round, and it's Yulong Lee from Sweden. He is opening in 280, 10 kilos below his personal best. Prognosis as he and Biden neck and neck. Oh, it's lovely and deep as well. And didn't that come up strong? Oh, I think we're in for a good battle this evening. And that is 3 white lights, and that's the end of the first round. Just a reminder, because we are doing back-to-back flights. At the end of the third round, there will only be a 10-minute break before we come back for bench press. But there's the positions as they stand. Lee leads with 280, Biden 275, Celis from the first group 270, and Dannek also from the first group 265. And we move into the second round, and it's Chris Onuoha up next. Two 255 kilos. 10 kilos below his personal best. Lovely indeed. Up smoothly. And 3 white lights for Onuoha. Andrew Blackwood from Ireland, 260 kilos. Just 2.5 kilos below his personal best. he's having to work a little bit harder than last time, but he's getting closer to his PB and it's still good. 3 white lines. Let's watch it again on replay. Sinks the crease formed when the hip bends below the top of the knee joint and gets 3 white lines. This is Guillen Pariso, 260 kilos.
Allez, bien droit, solide.
Squat.
Bien en avant. Allez.
Break.
In.
Now, does he get it this time? No. He gets 3 reds again. He gets blues from 2 of the referees and a red from the 3rd. And I'm talking about sublights. Well, the blue would be downward movement, knees not locked up or not standing erect enough at the top. So they've got to be seen, one of those 3 things, but I'm not seeing it from the angle I'm watching from. But I'm not in a seat right next to where the lifter is performing. Paul Edgar from Austria, 265 kilos.
Fest, Paul, fest.
Squat.
Yeah, no question of a depth there. And 3 white lines. Watch it again as he sinks nice and deep. Probably deeper than he had to go, but better too deep than not deep enough. Matias Spence will come out next. 267.5 kilos on the bar. A 10 kilo jump, 5 kilos away from his personal best. Spence, a brilliant deadlifter, so he's just looking to gather as many kilos as possible before the deadlift. And I think he's added 10 kilos more with that. He has, but only 2-1. One of the side referees called it on depth. Watch again. And next up is Nikolai from Finland. He was good with 250 and he's jumped 20 kilos to 270 kilos. Wow, that is a big jump. And this would equal his personal best. So he's done it before, but I bet he hasn't done it with a 20 kilo jump.
No niin, kerää painetta nyt
Squat.
te. Sieltä vaan ylös.
It looks good. Wait for the referees. No. Well, it's blues again. Are they saying unlock knees or he didn't stand up fully? And Benjamin Raston from Norway, 272.5 kilos. His PB is 276, the Norwegian junior record. So this is getting close to it. And again, never going to be a question of a depth with Raston, and it's 3 white lines. 2 to go in the second round, and they are the 2 that are projected to be battling to the last deadlift for the European title. First is Richmond Biden from France, 285 kilos on the bar, 2.5 kilos short of his personal best.
Allez.
Scott!
Well, that looks like a great squat to me. Deep, brought it up really strong. I think he shocked himself how easy it was. I think he was expecting more of a battle than he got. So what will he put on? Another 5 kilos? He's certainly more interested in the total than in the squat medals. And this is the man he will be battling, 287.5 on the bar. He, like Biden, is 2.5 kilos below his personal best with his second round squat. Both matching each other, blow for blow. Oh, that was deep, and he brought that up well. If I had to choose, I'd say Biden brought his up better, but that is a good lift, and the coaches and the lifters have to decide where to go. And I can tell you Biden has gone 295. Meanwhile, we look at the results, or the scoreboard from the second round rather. Lee leads with 287.5, Biden second, 285. Raston is now in third place with 272.5, just ahead of Celis from Belgium from the first group. And now we go to Pariso, and this is a must-make lift. He's had reds and blues. Hopefully the coach
Scott!
has been told what he's got them for. Well, he's gone deeper. But remember, some of the calls weren't on depth. And he's got blues again. And I'm sorry, I wish I could explain to you why he's getting the blues. The only thing I can think of is he's not standing erect, but he is returning to the starting position. And maybe the knees were slightly soft, difficult to say. And I'm not questioning anyone, just trying to explain the referee's decisions. So Andrew Blackwood from Ireland, 265 kilos on the bar. This will be a PB by 2.5 kilos. Gonna look ahead, but let's see Blackwood's lift first of all. Oh, that's strong. Brought that back up really well. And I'm just looking at the scoreboard, and the jury have overruled the no lift for Pariso. They have given him that last lift of 260 kilos. As I say, I was at a loss to explain what the blues were for. The jury have spoken to the referees, and Pariso is back in the competition. And this is Lappy. Took a 20 kilo jump from 250 to 270 to equal his PB. Did not get it last time. Just needs to go deeper, and I think he has. Wait for the referees. Yes, he gets it. 2-1. And we see the replay. And Chris Onuoa from Great Britain. He's taken a big jump. Look where he started, 240. Look where he's planning to finish, 270. His PB, 265.
Squat.
Oh, that's a great lift. And he gives a little smile as he puts the bar back, and that is 3 white lights for Onuoa. And next up is Paul Edgar from Austria, 272.5 for the next two lifters. This would move him into third place for the time being. Lifters are following. This for a chance of squat bronze. Oh, what a battle, what a battle. That was fantastic. And 3 white lights is the reward for a great battle. And just as Svensson comes up, I can tell you that if Biden and Lee both make their final lifts, Biden will take gold because he has jumped up from 285 to 295. Lee has gone from 287.5 to 292.5. But back to Svensson, 272.5. Because of body weight, the best he can do is fourth.
Squat.
Oh, he's battling, but no. Oh, he gave it everything he had, but not quite. And a no lift for Svensson. And now Benjamin Raston from Norway, 275 kilos on the bar, 1 kilo below his personal best. And he will be lifting for squat bronze. As you can see in the graphic, to go from fourth to third behind Lee and Biden. Depth will not be an issue here. The issue is, can he make depth and then bring it back up again? He smiles. He's confident. And he had every reason to be. He was smiling again when he was halfway up. He knew he had it. And it's 3 white lights for Raston. And he takes the bronze medal. Now, Yulong Lee from Sweden. He is leading. And this will put another 5 kilos on his total. But whether he gets gold or silver will not depend on this lift. It will depend on the next one. He may be more focused on getting 5 kilos on his total than a squat gold medal. It's nice to get both. Oh, it's a great lift. I would say that was better than a second, and it's 3 white lights, and he turns away and says, why didn't I put more on the bar? Because he is lighter than Biden. But what's done is done, and there is one more lift, and it's Richmond Biden from France. And this is to put another 10 kilos onto his total. And I think that's the most important thing for him. But also, it is to give him squat gold. He's guaranteed silver. This lift will turn silver to gold.
Allez, solide. Et on va la chercher là. Allez.
Scott!
La ligne, on va chercher la ligne. Pression.
Oh, he's bringing it back up, and that is good. I think we wait for the referees. Yes, 2-1. One referee called it on depth. The other two said it was good, and that is a good lift from Richmond Biden. He puts that 10 kilos on his total. That's going to help come the last deadlift. And almost incidentally, I would guess, he gets squat gold. And just to summarize, before we go to a very quick break, Richmond Biden from France takes gold in squat with 295 kilos. Yulong Lee from Sweden, silver, 2.5 kilos behind, and annoyingly for him, more in the tank. A great bronze from Benjamin Raston from Norway, who finishes 2.5 kilos ahead of Paul Edgar from Austria, with Celis from Belgium from the first group in fifth place on body weight at 270, from Onuoha from Great Britain, also on the same weight, as is Lappy. Three of them only separated by body weight. We will go to a short break. Join us again in about 8 minutes' time, and we will bring you the bench press. and welcome back to the junior men's 93 kilo class. If you've been with us earlier, you would have seen a quite sensational squat competition, which was won in the end by 2.5 kilos. And we are just about to start the bench press. Referees are just checking that all the lights are working properly, and the clock is ticking down towards 20 seconds. And just a reminder of the squat results: Biden takes gold, Lee silver, Raston the bronze, and unfortunately, one lifter bombed out. He was unable to get a good lift in, and he will be the first out on the bench. That's Ricardo Montenelli, Edgar, and we hate seeing that at any level in the sport, but particularly juniors that have trained so hard. But he's 21. He's got another 2 years as a junior, and hopefully the lessons learned here, hard though they are, will be put to good use during those years. 135 on the bar,
Right.
and that looks good. And it was only 5 kilos away from his personal best. Lifters that don't get a squat in normally continue in the competition because they can still win medals in bench press and deadlift. And this is Jakob Danek. For those just joining us, there were so many entries for this class that it had to be split into two groups. And the group you're watching now is the Group 1 lower ranked lifters. And that isn't an arbitrary decision, that's based upon the numbers they submit with their nomination forms.
Right.
And that looks good. 3 white flags for Dannek. And David Ascencio Alhama from Spain will be up next. 157.5 kilos. And looking at his profile, 10 kilos over his personal best.
Start. Right. Right.
And that looks good. And 3 white flags. Jonathan Celis from Belgium. Actually, he was very close to a medal in the squad. Performed really well. And his PB and bench is 182.5. So this presumably is a pretty conservative opener.
Start. Right.
And that's the way to do it. If you open at your limit, you could know where to go with your next two lifts. If you open lighter, you're guaranteed in the competition, and you've still got two lifts to go and do what you want to do. Now, John Bartel from the Netherlands is out at 165. He's opening on a PB.
Kruip in die baan. Blijf niet staan.
Start.
That's very comfortable. Dutch coaching team were never going to send him out for an opener he couldn't do. And there goes the horn again to celebrate a good Dutch lift. And now we have Jakob Lorelias. He was out first in the squat. He is out last in the bench press. And he is opening on 185 kilos, 7.5 kilos below his personal best. And once again, can we see a Norwegian lifter taking a medal from the first group? We saw it in the 83s. Can Lorelias do it in the 93s as well? He had to work. That looks good. 3 white lights. And that's the end of the first round in the first flight. And we go back to Montenelli Edgar from Italy. And he will take 145 kilos. And this will be a new PB if he gets it. He must still be hurt and disappointed from the squat. But he's got to put that behind him now. And use the opportunity to lift on the international platform to learn and develop. Oh, that's a new personal best with a lift to spare. 3 white lights. Now, Jakob Danek, his second attempt, 155 kilos. As you can see, his PB is 150, so 5 kilo personal best if he makes it. And that's a good strong lockout. And 3 white lights and a new personal best. Now Ascencio Alhama has opted to go for 162.5. Well, he got a PB with his opener. And he's put another 5 kilos on the bar. Oh, it's a good battle. And 3 white lights. What more has he got? Maybe 165. Or maybe that was it. But Jonathan Celis from Belgium is out next. 167 kilos. 67.5, sorry. Just double checking his PB. It is 182.5, so he is below that today. That looks good. 2 lifters to go in the second round. Reminder that after the third round, we move straight on with the second group. So this is John Bartel from the Netherlands, 170 kilos. Again, this will be a new personal best. With a 5 kilo PB with his opener. in great form today.
Follow.
Start. Press. Flex.
And that looks good as well. And 2-1, you got a yellow, possibly the buck coming off the bench. Might be able to see from a replay. Well, there was no daylight, so 2-1 is probably the right decision. Now, Jakob Lorelias, 192.5 on the bar to equal his PB, and he looks really up for this. Will this get him a medal? Looking at the openers in the second group, my answer is probably yes. Really digging his back into the bench, getting everything solid and tight, giving him a base to bench against.
Press.
No, no. Just didn't get it moving fast enough. Just watch again. Just stalled too soon. Just had to be a little faster up the chest. And we are into the third round. And can Montenelli Edgar get another personal best? His 145 was a personal best. And this to add another 5 kilos. Remember, he is another 2 years as a junior.
Press.
Oh, great battle. Should be good. 3 white lights. Now, Jakob Danek. Will be taking 160 kilos. Is 155 in the second round is a PB. Like the Italian, this is to add another 5 kilos.
Start. Press.
So that is a no lift. And David Ascencio Alhama comes out for his third and final attempt. 165 kilos. And his PB coming in, the risk of repeating myself, was 147.5. 10 kilo PB with his opener, and progressively taking it even higher.
Start. Press.
Oh, it's just stalled. Oh, how on earth did he manage to do that? Now it's a question of is it whites or blues? It's both, but he gets 2 whites. What a battle from the Spaniard. I honestly thought he'd gone. Wow, what a great lift. Now Jonathan Celis, Belgium. As we said, he's slightly below his PB today, but this is 170, and this is a big bench press for a 93 kilo junior, full stop. No matter what your PB is, no matter what group you're lifting in, this is a big bench press.
Start. Press.
Oh, and he battles as well, and that should be good. 3 white lights, and he is delighted with that. And John Bartel from the Netherlands looking to get 3 PBs from 3 lifts.
Kom op dan!
And I think we'll see some celebration if the bar goes up this time. Taking him right to his absolute limit.
Start. Press.
It's going, it's going, it's going, and it's stalled. Oh, great attempt, but no lift for Bartel. One more lift in the first group, and then we move straight on. And it's Lorelias, and he's taking another attempt, 192.5. A weight that may be good enough for a bench press medal. Can you do it this time? Gotta be more dynamic off the chest. No, no. And he has to finish with the best of 185 kilos, which is still far better than anyone else in the group. And we move on, and it's Onuoha from Great Britain, opening with 135 kilos. But if you remember what he did in squat, he opened really low and finished a lot higher than he opened. If I can remember my numbers, he opened at 235 and finished at 270. If I'm wrong, I'm not wrong by much. And is that his tactic today? Open really safe, get one in, relax, and then search for big numbers.
Start. Press. Break.
Oh, how easy was that? 3 white lights. Now under Blackwood. Bench press PB 152.5. He's opening 10 kilos below that.
Start. Press. Break.
Oh, that's nice and easy. 3 wide lights and bar goes up to 145 kilos for Paul Edgar from Austria. Final year junior competition, bench press at 150 kilos, opening 5 kilos below that.
Start. Press. Break.
And that looks good. And 3 white lines. Bar goes up to 150 kilos for Nicolappi from Finland. just looking ahead, the last two out are the same that were the last two out in squat. They will have another battle on bench. But they will not be alone.
Start. Rest. Right.
Yeah, that was quite comfortable for Lappy. 10 kilos below his personal best for his opener. And then we have Svensson from Sweden. And after Svensson takes 152.5, the bar will jump to 170 and the bench battle will commence.
Start. Rest. Right.
And that's good. Remember, Svensson is a very, very big deadlifter. Benjamin Raston from Norway. And the bar is up to 170 kilos. The target for bench press medals, of course, is the 185 set by Lorelias in the first group.
Start. Rest. Right.
Wow, that was dumped in the chest, wasn't it? And very fast. Very similar style to his squat, really, where he was down really fast, really deep, and explodes back up. And that style is echoed in his bench as well. And this is Guillen Pariso from France, the lifter that we thought was out, but the jury overturned the referee's decision on his third round lift, and he is back in the competition.
Start. Rest. Right.
And that looks good. And 3 white lights. And now the big two in this class, if I may call them that, Lee and Biden. Lee is out first, 175 kilos. Now both these lifters, of course, they'll want to win bench press gold, but they are more concerned with what is on their subtotal before they come to deadlift, because they haven't come for minor medals, they've come for the European title, and only one of them can take it away.
Start. Rest. Right.
And that's good from Lee, but how much more has he got? No, he got yellows. I wondered if the butt had lifted. Let's check that. See if that was the reason. Yeah, oh, London bus. And he will have to take that again, so it's advantage Biden. 177.5 on the bar for the French lifter. And this, remember, won't go into the lead, it will go into second place.
Start.
Oh, that's a great bench press. Advantage Biden at the end of one round. That is just a perfect bench press. And at the end of the round, we can see Lorelias still leads with 185, Biden second, Pariso third, Celis from the first group also is fourth, and one of the big favourites, Lee, still to register a lift because he got 2 yellows and the butt was way off the bench. We're into the second round and it's Chris Onuoha from Great Britain again, 142.5 kilos on the bar, within 5 kilos of his PB.
Press.
Oh, that's a good bench press as well. I would guess maybe he'll go 150 next time to get a new personal best. Failing that, 147.5 to equal it. Now, Paul Edgar from Austria, 150 for the next two lifters, and this will equal Edgar's PB.
Festgreifen.
Stop. Press.
Jawohl. Geht.
And it's a battle all the way,
Press.
and he gets it. I'm not sure how much more is there. I'd be surprised to see anything but 152.5 on the bar next time round. And Andrew Blackwood from Ireland also 150 on the bar, 2.5 kilos short of his personal best.
Stop. Press. Press.
And that looks good. And 3 white lines. 155 kilos on the bar for Matias Spence. He opened on 152.5. Really close to his limit. I think the 2.5 is a sensible increase.
Stop. Press. Press.
And that looks good. Yes, he seemed to hold his left shoulder there as he was coming off. But it's a good bench press. Now, Nicolapi. 10-kilo jump to equal his personal best in round 2. Here we go.
Press.
Fighting all the way, but I think the hips have come up as well. And it's a no lift for Lappy. As you just watch the butt coming off the bench. As you really strain, it just tends to happen. Now, Yulong Lee, very, very important lift. He pressed it last time, but his buttocks came about 3 or 4 inches off the bench. He has to put that right. He is, if you like, the joint favourite for the title.
Start. Press. Break.
Well, we couldn't see anything about the butt, but no, the same thing again. It looked good from the overhead angle, but of course, that hides lots of things. Yeah. Well, he's got to put that right, or he is out. It's as simple as that. And not only will it be a tragedy for him, it'll be so disappointing for us, all looking forward to a battle with Biden going right down to the last deadlift. This is Pariso 177.5 to take him within 5 kilos of his personal best.
Start. Press.
Oh, he's working it, but no. And that is no lift for Pariso. And 2 to go. Next up is Raston. And he's going 177.5. Biden will follow on 182.5. No one still reaching the mark set by Lorelias in the first group. And watch this to come down very fast, and Raston will hope go back up very fast as well. Taking it off himself.
Start. Press.
No. The extra weight just slowed him down. Only takes 5 kilos. It's amazing. It takes 5 kilos to go from something you can do easily to something you simply can't do. Well, everything seems to be falling into Richmond Biden's lap at the moment. Even if Lee makes his third round attempt, he's allowing Biden to move clear, and this is 182.5 kilos, and it is still 5 kilos below his personal best. Final lift of the second round.
Start. Press. Break.
Oh, that's a great lift from Biden. 3 white lights, and we are into round 3. Just a quick look at the scoreboard. You can see Lorelias still leads 185, Biden 182.5, lighter than Lorelias. So if he makes his next lift, whatever it is, it's got to be minimum 2.5. He will move ahead of Lorelias. Pariso 10 kilos further back. Of course, Lee will go into bronze medal position if he makes his third lift, but that's the last thing in his mind. This is Onuoha.
Start.
150 kilos.
Press.
Oh, and that was easy. And that is a new personal best for Chris Onuoha. And he walks off very satisfied with his evening's work so far. Next, Paul Edgar from Austria, 152.5 kilos. get focused, get ready, takes it off himself. He was right on his limit, I reckon, at 150. Can he find an extra 2.5? He's working. No. Well, he's got to be happy with the 150. He gave everything he had to that, and he had nothing more to give. Now, Andrew Blackwood, 155 kilos for the young Irish lifter, and this will be a new personal best on the bench press.
Start. Race.
No, just not there. Bench press is a bit like high jump. Everyone eventually just reaches their limit and can't go any higher. Now, Matias Spence just making sensible little jumps. He opened at 152.5, thought it was quite heavy, jumped 2.5, probably moved better than the 152.5, and now he's jumped another 2.5. Not interested in his PB. He wants a run at the podium with his deadlift, and this extra 2.5 kilos, if he's going to take it, which I suspect he's not. Well, he obviously felt he was at his limit, 155. He's saving himself for deadlift, and who can blame him for doing that? And for the benefit of new viewers, he will be timed out. The referees will be asked to show. It will be shown as a red light against his name, and we will move on with the next lifter. And the next lifter is Nikolappi from Finland, 160 on the bar. Well, he could not get this moving at all last time. Can he do anything different? And then, after Lappi, the most important lift of the evening, possibly the most important lift of the whole day. Can he do something different? Can he summon extra strength from somewhere? It's better, but no. I think even before it finally went down slightly. And now, the moment for Yulong Lee, 175 kilos on the bar. It will give him the bench press bronze. He doesn't care about the bronze. He just wants a chance to deadlift for the title. And he needs this lift to have that chance. The problem is not the press. The problem is keeping contact with the bench. That's what he has to put right. Just watch the hips as he presses. Did they come up or did they not? We'll soon find out. It's a good lift. 3 white lights and Yulong Lee by the skin of his teeth stays in the competition. Under the old rule, I think he would have been out, but under the new daylight rule, he is fine. Now, Guillen Pariso from France missed 177.5 last time after opening on 172.5. This for a bench press medal. Lee currently has the bronze. I think Lee would happily give it away. It wasn't what he was lifting for. It very much is what Pariso is lifting for. Oh, it's better. Oh, that looks good. 3 white lights for Pariso, and he takes bench press bronze. And Raston on body weight can only go to 4th with this, although he will match Pariso. He will do so at a heavier body weight. So this is lifting for kilos.
Start. Press.
No, just stuck. And there is one more lift. And it is Biden Richmond, 187.5 kilos on the bar. And if he makes this, he will have gained 12.5 kilos on Lee during the bench press. And that 12.5 kilos could be the difference between being European champion and being runner-up. At the moment, the difference is 7.5 kilos. That is catchable. 12.5 kilos presents Lee with a totally different problem. So it is vitally important that he makes this lift.
Start. Press.
Oh, wow. Oh, like an empty bar. 3 white lights. Richmond Biden takes everything, takes the lead, takes bench press gold away from Lorelias, takes a lead at subtotal, adds bench press gold to squat gold. Where do I stop? So just to summarize, although many of the lifters weren't focused on the bench press, as I tried to indicate in the commentary, let's just run through the bench press results. Richmond Biden takes the gold. Jakob Lorelias from Norway takes the silver from the first group. Pariso takes the bronze with 177.5. Lee just out of the medals on 175. He couldn't care less about bench press medals. He is still in the competition. That's all that matters to him. Join us in about 9 minutes' time as this fantastic competition reaches its climax. and welcome back to the junior men's 93 kilos competition. We're just about to start the deadlifts here in Vasteras, where earlier today it was extremely cold. It reached minus 19 degrees at one point. I don't know where you're watching in the world, but I doubt if few places are as cold as that. Even Richard Haywood felt it cold, and he's from Aberdeen, and he knows a thing or two about the cold, living on the northeast coast of Scotland. Just a reminder of the bench press result from earlier. Biden from Lorelias from Pariso with a great third round effort, and Lee, as I said, all he cares about is that he is still in the competition. If you're just joining us, it's split into two flights because we have 15 lifters, and if there are 15 or more lifters, the group has to be split. So we have six lifters in the first flight, and they will each take three deadlifts, and then we will move to the second group. First up is Florelius, who we just mentioned, took the silver medal in bench press from the first group,
Done.
and that's a nice, easy opening deadlift. And it will be interesting. That was 252 and a half, by the way. It'll be interesting to see if anyone in the first group can contend for a deadlift medal. Sometimes you get lifters that aren't great, relatively speaking, in squat or bench, but have a fantastic deadlift. And do we have one of them, or more than one of them, lurking in the first group tonight? Next up is Jonathan Celis from Belgium. The bar is loaded to 260 kilos.
Kom maar, man. Heb tijd, pak uw tijd. Easy.
Done.
And that's a good lift, three white lights. I waited, I was worried he let the bar go too early, but he didn't,
Follow that.
as can clearly be seen on the replay. Now, Jakob Danek from Czechia, 21 years old, 265 kilos on the bar.
Done.
Well, I'm going to wait for the referees, and that's why I was waiting, because it didn't seem to be fully locked.
Follow that.
And the center referee who gave the down command gave it. Both the side referees saw a different angle and they both gave it red. Now this is Montenelli Edgar, and he was over almost before I had a chance to read out his name.
Follow that.
Can't make a total for anyone just joining us. He didn't register a valid squad, sadly. Now, this is Ascencio Alhama, España 272.5. We've seen some great Spanish deadlifters in recent years. Can David follow in that same tradition?
Done.
Well, that's good. That's strong. More there. And last out in the first round is Bartel from the Netherlands, and he's opening on 280. He has a PB of 300.
Push down.
Might he be the medalist from the first flight that we were wondering about? And here he comes. shouts some encouragement as he walks onto the platform. Well, he's beaten his PBs in his other disciplines today. If he can beat his deadlift PB, the number he posts might take some beating. But he'll have to make big jumps. But he has nothing to lose.
Stand.
That's good. Get one on the board, take a big jump, see how it feels. And the bugles or the trumpets or the vuvuzelas or whatever they are sound once again for 3 Dutch lights. Now Jakob Danek from Czechia, 265 kilos. We're into the second round. He missed this with his opener. He's not had much rest because the order has changed.
Stand.
That's better. And he gets 3 white lights. And now Lorelias is taking 267.5 kilos. He can take pride in taking a bench medal from the first group.
Stand.
And that's good. Now Jonathan Celis from Belgium, 280 kilos. No, that's not going anywhere. And I wonder, will he leave it at that? Or will he come in one more time, bring some more fire onto the platform and try and get it up? David Ascencio Alhama, what a fantastic day he's had. $287.5, only 2.5 kilos away from his personal best. Oh, that's good as well. Will he be the one to take a risk in the third round? He gets a yellow. Not quite sure what the yellow was for. See if we can see anything. No. No. Very fast onto the platform again. Montenelli Edgar.
Stand.
That's good as well. That was 295. Well, if anyone has nothing to lose, he has nothing to lose. So will he go big next time round? Now, Bartel opened on 280. He's taking another 15 kilos, 295, 5 kilos short his personal best. This will be a new total PB for him, if not a deadlift PB. Current PB is 705. And it's coming. Oh, he's trying so hard, but he just has to give up in the end. And we are into the third round of the first group in what seems like no time at all. Jakob Lorelias for the last time tonight. 275 kilos on the bar. 7.5 kilos short of his personal best. Looks good. And that is 3 white lights, and his day is done. Jonathan Celis, Belgium, 280 kilos for the next two lifters, then 295 for the two after that. And the Italian is going to try 305. And then we'll be into the second group. Celis missed 280. Maybe he was subconsciously saving himself for the third round where he can give everything because there is nothing to hold back for anymore. No, it's just not there. And he thanks all the referees. And next up at the same weight is Jakob Danek from Czechia. Missed his opener, retook it, jumping 15 kilos. This would give him 700 kilos total exactly. His PB coming in was 662.5. So he's made a huge improvement on his PB, whatever happens with this lift. But it would be lovely for him to hit the 700 kilos. He's fighting. Oh, not quite. The bar actually caught on his singlet, and I think that slowed it down just enough. Just watch it catching on the singlet on the right leg, and as soon as that happened, it just more or less stopped moving, and he just couldn't finish it off. So close, but he should be pleased with his work today. 295 for Ascencio Alhama. Five kilo PB if he gets it. And no, not quite. He was nearly. But he gets a new PB on total. And now John Bartel from the Netherlands. 2 lifters to go in the first group. And he is trying 295 again. Missed it last time. 5 kilos short of his personal best. No. Broke the floor, and that was as far as it was going. And there is one more lift in the first group, and it's Ricardo Montenelli, Edgar from Italy. and he is going for 305. His PB coming in was 290, so he broke his PB in the second round, and he PB'd on bench as well. So perhaps these PBs will be some consolation for what happened in the squad. He's locked it, I think. It was so quick, and it's 3 white lights. And that is what the second group have to aim at if they want a deadlift medal. They have to go past 305 kilos. And I'm just looking at Montenelli. Edgar's body weight 92.95. He's probably the heaviest in the group. So I think it would be fair to say anyone in the second group wants a deadlift medal, they would have to equal 305, and they will almost certainly beat the Italian on body weight. Here we go. This is what it all boils down to. Raston 260. And I'll just call these deadlifts one at a time. And at the end of the first round, we'll have a better picture of how things stand in the overall battle to be European champion. Is Biden too far ahead? Can Lee reel him in? But this is Andrew Blackwood from Ireland, 290 kilos. Blackwood's got a big deadlift. His PB's 315. If he can exceed that today, who knows, he might get a medal. But this is to get the opener in. See how it feels. And it feels easy is the answer. 3 white lights. Now, Yulong Lee, 290 kilos. He was so close to going out of the competition, but now he's right in it. 10 kilos below his personal best. Well, he's locked it out, but that was a battle. Waiting to no. 2 of the 3 referees say it wasn't fully locked out. Watch it again. There was certainly 2 phases, and maybe the hips didn't come through. I don't know. It actually looked good to me from this commentary position, but the referees are much closer, much better positioned. So this is Pariso, also on 290 kilos. His PB 305. But we've seen today some people going way past PBs, others falling short. That looks good. And the bar goes up to 295 for Richmond Biden. And this would give him 777.5 kilos. Lee, even if he makes his lift next time round, would be 757, 20 kilos behind. So this will give Biden a huge advantage. That's good. He was 2.5 kilos better in the squat. He was 12.5 kilos better in the bench press. So far, he's 5 kilos better in the deadlift, and that all adds up to a lead over Lee of 20 kilos, assuming Lee makes his lift next time round. This is Lappy, 300 kilos. The next 4 lifters, the number all starts with a 3.
Done.
That looks good. And 3 white lights for Lappy. Now Matias Spence is next, 302.5 kilos. We did say throughout the bench press that the Swede had a really big deadlift. You can see the PB is 320 kilos, and he was just trying to add as many kilos as possible in the bench press. But this lift will take him from 13th place to 3rd. Lifters to follow, of course.
Done.
How easy was that? And he looks casually at the scoreboard, and it's 3 white lights. And now Paul Edgar from Austria, 305 kilos on the bar.
Follow them.
His PB, 325.
Rechts, rechts. Bring die an. Yes. Jawohl. Alle.
Done.
And that looks really, really good.
Follow them.
1 to go in the first round, and it's Chris Onuoha from Great Britain, 310 kilos. His PB, 330. This will put him into 2nd place overall with 1 pull of the deadlift. Wow. Just wow. 3 white lights. And at the end of the first round, Onuoha 310, Edgar 305, Montenelli Edgar from the first group 305, Spence in 302.5, and perhaps most importantly Biden on 295 with that lift in the tank, so to speak. And this is Raston in the second round, 277.5 kilos that was. Sorry, I'm trying to commentate and look at about 3 other different pieces of information at the same time. And this is Yulong Lee. He has to take his opener again, 290. The referees, 2 of the referees said it wasn't fully locked. Will they give it to him this time? Yes, they will, but 2-1. What a struggle. And if Biden makes the second lift, there will be 27.5 kilos between them, and he is not going to make that up. Now, Pariso. But of course, Lee has now pushed Onuoha from second to third. But more of that later. This is Pariso, 302.5. This will move him into third place overall. And that's good. And the lifter that is only still in the competition because the jury overturned a no lift from the referees way back, what seems like hours ago now, suddenly finds himself in a podium position with lifters to follow. Now this is Richmond Biden, 302.5. This would put him to 785. Lee sits at 7.5. Pariso at 740. I would say this for the title. Yeah, and I think that is your champion, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Richmond Biden, France. Been so impressive today. I think I'm correct in saying he's got every lift so far. Got his 3 squats, got his 3 benches, got his first 2 deadlifts. And now this is Andrew Blackwood, 305 kilos. Still 10 kilos below his personal best. Just working up through the numbers. Well, I wonder will he get blues for that. He shook his head. And yes, all 3 referees. If it's any consolation, the strength is there. And the temptation may be just a bit more weight in the bar because he has nothing to lose. Now, Matias Spence in Sweden, 312.5. This will put him into the lead in deadlift, and it would put him into 4th place overall. Would give him 735. Onuoha is in 730. Pariso's in 740. This keeps him in the mix. But he has to make this, and he does not. And with that, I think his chance of a podium has just gone. Gave it everything. It was not to be today. Looks at his hands as if to say, hands, how could you let me down like that? And now Paul Edgar, Austria, 317.5 kilos. And this would put him onto the podium. This would give him 740 and put him in the lead in deadlift. Gold and silver are decided, but we have 3 or 4 lifters battling for that 3rd place on the podium. And Edgar is one of them. And he gets it. And there is more there. He leads deadlift. He is in 3rd place overall. Lifters and a round to follow, of course. Oh, we're seeing some great powerlifting here tonight. Now this is Lappy. This will put him to 4th place. So not totally out of it. And it will put him in the lead in deadlift. With 1 lifter and 1 round to go. Oh no, brave try, but not to be. He had to push himself. It's such a high quality field. If you just play conservatively, you're going to end up 6th or 7th. You may as well just go for it and see what happens. Now, Chris Onuoha from Great Britain is going for 330 kilos. This would clearly put him in the lead in the deadlift. It also puts him back into third place overall if he gets it. He would go to 750, 10 kilos clear of Edgar. But it's a huge deadlift, 330 kilos. Everyone waits to see what's going to happen. Oh, I thought he had it. Oh, the power was there. It just came out of his hands. And he will come back and he will try that again. Look how quickly he moved it. And I don't know if his grip wasn't strong enough, or maybe the focus wasn't on the grip. The focus was on other parts of the lift. And we have one round to go. I can tell you Richmond Biden is now in third place in the best scoring points, and he has a lift to go. He's also at 785. He, as I said earlier, he has won the title. Nobody is going to catch him. And that looks good for Raston. 3 white lights. And the trumpets or the bugles sound for him as well. Now, Yulong Lee, 295. Protecting silver from an attack. Thoughts of being the champion have now gone. This to almost guarantee silver medal overall. No, not to be. I think he'll still get silver, but was only able to register one good deadlift. Now, Guillen Pariso, he is going 307.5 kilos, and this will put him into third place. It will give him 745. Lifters to follow, of course. At least 2 of which could push him out. And I'm just looking at some of the numbers posted for the third round, and they are staggering. But let's see Pariso first. Oh no, it came out of the left hand. And that is a no lift for Pariso. Now, 6 lifters left. This is Matias Spence in Sweden. This will put him second in deadlift, with a lot of big lifters following him, of course. But he has to believe he will succeed and they will fail. And this is for a medal. That has to be his mindset. No, not today. Done the best he can, thanks to the referees, and it hardly moved off the floor. And then there were 5. Andrew Blackwood, Ireland, 315 kilos, and this would put him to second place in deadlift. It's a weight he has done before. He missed 305. It's all or nothing, and he has nothing to lose, so he may as well select the all option. You can hear the shouts of encouragement from the rest of the Irish team. No, he nearly had it. And again, it was the grip that let him down. The power was there. Now, Nico Lappi, he's going 322.5 kilos. This would put him onto the podium for now and would take the lead in the deadlift. Studying, focus, and concentration. It's moving, but he can't finish it. And he shakes his head in disappointment. But what a great try. Three lifts remaining in this great day of competition. Next, it's Richmond Biden, France, 325 kilos. He is already the European champion. Nobody can come near him. This is to move into the lead in the deadlift. This to increase his best lifter points. He is already in third place. Lots still at stake, although he is the champion. Lots to play for. Can he possibly do it? Was there ever any real doubt? Richmond Biden just absolutely smashes 325 kilos. Wow. And I can tell you that that lift has jumped him into the lead in the best scoring points. He now has 106.625. Omisakin from Great Britain, 106.330 was leading. And we've had a change. And it's Chris Onuoha from Great Britain, 340 kilos. This will put him ahead of Lee into silver medal position overall, and we've had another attempt change. And Edgar has dropped to 337.5. So Onuoha has to go away and compose himself for a little bit longer. And of course the key issue with Edgar taking 337.5, once the bar is loaded, Onuoha cannot go any lower. He can drop to 337, but he can't go lower than that. He's a higher lot than Edgar. This gold medal in deadlift. Oh, and it's not moving. And that would have been a silver medal position in total as well. And there is one more lift. You can see he got it off the floor. I mean, at that sort of weight, that's a major achievement. And the final lift of the day is Chris Onuoha, 340 kilos, to take gold medal in deadlift and for silver medal overall. He had the power for 330, but the grip let him down. Just a little bit more focus on the grip, and perhaps the near impossible can become possible because nobody for a moment thought that Lee would not take the silver. Here he goes. Get that grip tighter than ever. It's going. Oh, he's locked it out! He's only gone and done it! It's 3 white lights! And from nowhere, Chris Onuoha has gone past Lee. He has taken the silver medal at the European Championships and he wins gold by 15 kilos. I can hardly believe what I have just seen. Wow, just wow. Take that in for a moment. Look at those results. Let's do the deadlifts first of all. Onuoha with that final lift takes the gold medal. Biden takes the silver with 325. Edgar from Austria takes the bronze with his second attempt of 317.5 kilos. And in the overall standings, Lee, who we'd already hung the silver medal round his neck in effect, finished on 757.5 kilos. But Chris Onuoha came from absolutely nowhere with a massive deadlift of 340 kilos for a total of 760 to push Lee down into bronze medal position. The champion, the worthiest of champions, and now leading the best scoring points with a fantastic performance, gold in squat, gold in bench press, silver in deadlift, only that last fantastic lift preventing the clean sweep, and a total of 807.5 kilos. What a performance by Richmond Biden, and what a fantastic entertainment, what a fantastic competition these junior lifters have given us tonight. And you have to remind yourself over and over again that they are junior lifters because they are stupendously good at what they do. And Ralph, my friend, I know you will be watching back in Spain. I know you will have loved that. I know you love to see the big deadlifter coming through at the end. And I know if you were sitting next to me, you would say that was powerlifting at its very best. So I will say it for you. What we have seen tonight is quite simply powerlifting at its very, very best. And with those few words, I will leave you for the evening with the trailer for tomorrow. Tomorrow, we finish off 4 days of superb junior competition with the under 105 class at 10 a.m. local time. It starts, and then there is a combined over and under 120 class which starts at 1400 hours. Please join us again for that. Can it get any better? We say it every night, and the next day the answer seems to be yes. Please stay with us for the medal ceremony. But from me, Martin Flett, in the commentary booth, I hope you've enjoyed it half as much as I have, and I will bid you good night.
Yulong Lee, 202.5. Richmond Biden, 295. Thank you. Merci. Pour le Deadlifts, contre de France, Raston, 77.5. Celis to Norway, Denmark, for the English 185. And the goal goes to France, Richmond Biden, 137.5. Thank you. Merci. Deadlifts, Raston goes to Austria, for near 317.5. Silver goes to France, Richmond Biden, 325. And the golden goes to Belgium, Chris, Yulong Lee, 340.
Beautiful boy.
Thank you. Merci. And for the Sweden, Yulong Lee, 757.5. Silver goes to Belgium, Chris, for 760. And the European champion,